Sorry about that. Stop it.
Not a problem.
Technology has been intervening all morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world.
Couldn't even get on the Clubhouse.
And now technology is connecting us, guys. Welcome. We're live, and this is another amazing episode for the Conscious Entrepreneur podcast, as well as for these amazing humans. My name is Miro, the hero founder Manifest X, and I'm joined by my lovely panel experts today, and personal friends and loved ones as well. We've got Harrison Klein, master entrepreneur, manifestor, law of attraction expert, course creator, just extraordinary human being, super connected, like decades of experience in creating.
You keep talking like that, I'm going to fall in love with you.
That's my intent, dude. My plan is working out. Joined by his amazing queen, Amar Beth, who's a meditation expert, healer, and extraordinaire. And I'm so looking forward to getting to know you better. Who, Harrison, you have manifested, or you have manifested him, or you guys have manifested each other, which is so special and really why we're connected so well, I imagine. Because we're also joined by Nikki Levence, my queen, my soulmate, girlfriend, partner, life partner, co-empire builder, extraordinaire, singer, songwriter, celebrity, superstar, actor. I can keep going. Multi-hyphenated human being. And yeah, super happy and grateful to share this moment in this stage with each of you and all of you and collectively. Just feeling happier, my happiness level's rising as I'm just like really dropping into this moment. Today's discussion topic is how to manifest your soulmate without sacrificing your empire. Each of us has built and are in the process of building amazing impact-driven, freedom-driven empires and maintain an amazing, rich, passionate, fulfilling relationship at the same time. Have some powerful stories to share. And we're gonna kick this story off, whether you want to manifest your soulmate, learn more about manifesting, or dive deeper into the love that you already got going on, or you're just freaking curious about what the hell is going on with this weird spaceship background, right? This is the conversation for you. And we're going to kick it all off with a little guided meditation by Amara Beth, the meditation expert. So let's do this, guys.
All right. Oh, what a wonderful build-up. Thank you, Miro, the hero. Sit up straight, everybody, and just tuck your chin in just a touch so that the back of your neck is straight. And close your eyes. And let's just sink into the chairs. And notice, where does your body intersect with the chair? Feel the weight of your butt in the chair and notice your back against the back of the chair and maybe your arms on the armrest, and just notice, what am I feeling right now in this moment? Yes, just take a deep breath all the way down into your belly and let your belly expand with the breath and contract as you exhale, and follow that breath as it moves all the way up through your body and out through your nostrils. Again, we're going to inhale, following that breath in your mind's eye, all the way down into your belly, letting your belly expand and contract and follow it up. And as we are all breathing together, the same inhale, the same exhale, we become synced. We are all one, and we are all moving right now into alignment. And let's take it even further, because we are sending love and light and peace to each other and to all of our brothers and sisters on this live stream. So just feel that love beaming out from your heart to everyone on this stream. And then notice all the love that's coming back to you and filling you up and embracing you. let your heart well up with gratitude and appreciation. And now just come back very gently into your chair. Become aware of your surroundings and wiggle your fingers and your toes and come back.
That was nice. Thank you. I feel dropped in.
Sweet.
Yeah, you're feeling so connected. Guys, if you were watching this live or from the replay and you're feeling this, let us know you're with us. Drop a hashtag live, a hashtag connected. Whether you're tuning in from the future or right now, it's totally perfect. So much love. I felt that love coming from everyone. You guys feel that?
Yeah, we started all breathing in synchronicity, so we were all breathing at the same time, and that amplified the feeling of being grounded and connected and celestial simultaneously. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. So we would love to open our conversation with the surprising origin story of you and Marbeth Harrison, the two of you connecting and how you came together. I'm sure we'll have opportunity for Nikki and I to share a little bit about our story as well. And we dove into it a little bit. And really, I want to emphasize the part of your story that's obviously it's going as it stands. It's wildly inspiring, right? Because you found your soulmate match, which is like the ultimate achievement in any man's in life or in any person's life. I believe to finding a match, it's just like the ultimate achievement. And what I'd love for you to highlight as you share your story, if you want, is really what manifesting practices and habits you cultivated in order to make this happen, so that our viewers and listeners can take a little bit of a nugget away from your story. So if that's enough of a challenge for you and you want to choose to accept this mission, I'd love to hear your origin story, you guys. You want to start us off, Harrison?
I want to let Marbeth start it off because she tells this story way better than I do.
Love it.
Oh, you're so sweet, Harrison. Well, our origin story is kind of interesting because I'm going to back up about 2 years before I met Harrison. I had a boyfriend whose name was Harold Klein, and Harrison's last name is Klein. And he looked like Harrison, just to make things very weird. And he died suddenly of a heart attack. And it was a really wonderful healing experience for me because I had the tools to release the emotions as they came up. And I was able to move through it and just really just hold on to the love and the beautiful experiences. But I was able to let the pain and all the sadness and the grief go. And I was becoming a Kundalini yoga instructor. And I had taken myself off all of the online dating sites because it was just too intense. And, I had to get up in the middle of the night to do these sadhanas. And, it was like, when am I going to date? I'll wait until after this training is done. And I got a message from one of the sites that I had a message waiting. And I knew, I'm an intuitive, and I knew this message is nothing, but I need to sign up so I can see whatever this is that I'm supposed to see. And so I signed up, and of course the message was nothing, but there were my matches, and there was Harrison looking just like Harold. And he was a spiritual teacher like I am. And I was like, whoa, this is really crazy. So that was the beginning of it. But I also want to say that Harrison and I each had created a list, because it's so important when you want to create your love match that you have a clear idea of who it is that you want in your life and who you don't want. So I had a list of 55 things, wonderful attributes that I wanted in a soulmate. Harrison's list had, I think, a dozen. The top 2 being blonde and big boobed.
I love it.
True. And he's not all that shallow, not in a long shot. So Harrison, do you want to take it away from here and tell us about your list?
The list, well, the list was pretty clear in terms of what I wanted in a mate. I wanted somebody that was beautiful, blonde, big boobs, could understood the same metaphysical principles as myself, also liked the same kind of music, would be a cooperative element in my business, would like the same things I did, and, go out and, kind of share the enthusiasm and excitement for all the people that we knew in common that we were going to meet. I had a whole kind of understanding of the faith element, and wanted somebody who understood the faith in the same way I did, who had a spiritual background. So I was ready when time came. I had spent about 3 or 4 years, kind of since my earlier relationship, and I'd been dating around and stuff like that, but I didn't find anybody that had, the kind of both chemistry and ideas that I wanted to really have. So I came across, the idea that I should write down this list, and I did. And within 3 days, Marbeth showed up. So it was just 3 days, basically. We made contact. We went out to dance and eat the first night that we were there. We had a lot of, kind of fun. We had some very bizarre conversation a little bit, and part of it was a very bizarre conversation. And that conversation, just led to, first portion of it was, hold on, wait a minute, this is too much. And then afterwards, it came across, well, I called her back and I said, okay, well, let's keep on going. And within a week or so or two, we were probably, kind of inseparable after that. And we talked every night and every day, and we've hardly been apart after the first month. So, 24/7, we don't have, individual jobs. So we all have our own business, and we're in the same, environment, especially as COVID and the lockdown came and everything worked with, isolation and stuff. We enjoy each other so much that we never even had a difficulty. I can't even imagine a better relationship than this manifested, in the way this manifested. I am so grateful and so thankful for her every single day. She's a good cook. She's a good mother. She's a good helper. She's a good connector. She's a good spiritual person. She's always supportive. She's always on my side. And, the love and everything is great. So every kind of thing that a man could want gets fulfilled within, the soul of another person. And what I know metaphysically is that another person that you live with is your soul, basically. So she is my soul reflecting back to me. And that's why I love her so much, because I love myself and I love her. So, it's very cool. How's that?
Yeah, that's what I got to say about that.
Can I chime in? Can I chime in? I have so many comments. So one thing I want to comment on is what Mary Beth said about the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was something that Miro and I also had in our journey, and our calling each other and in manifesting each other. We both had lists going on. And, it's important when we're putting these lists together, to like come from it from a like core value space, and not necessarily like an ego space, right? But like really what you desire, right? And I love that Harrison had blonde hair and big boobs. Like I love it because physical attributes are important as well, right? Like what you're attracted to, the things that you want. And like some of the things that I had on my list, Mira and I looked at it like after we had fallen in love and like decided to be together. It's like, this is crazy. Like he was like the list to the T. It was like everything I called in. Like I was like, I wanted someone who was spiritual, who would do that self-healing work with me, who like wanted a family, who wanted to build an empire. I had things on my list like we both did, like going to space and like being trillionaires, and like, just really just things that like Harrison just said, my soul reflected back to me. I was like, I want someone who's a leader in his field, a speaker, just so many like little nuanced things that I had on my list that I even now I feel like I still continue to discover as we like go along our journey. Sometimes I'll look at him and I'll just be like, oh my God, there's another thing that I said that one time to my friend that I was not like negotiating on that he is. And like, even down to like his name, I wanted like my partner to have a really cool first and last name because I love my name so much, like, and I loved my last name. And I was like, I can't go from being Nicole Events to like Nicole, I don't know, Smith or something. No offense to anyone whose name is Smith, but like my last name was always very different. I never met anyone in my entire life with my last name who I wasn't related to. So I always felt like that was one of my like specialties, or like one of my like things that made me special was my last name. And I was like, whoever I date just has to have a cool last name. And he shows up like Miro Hayink. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, it's such a unique name with such a unique like backstory. I even had needs to speak 3 languages, and he does. It's like, you know, it's just so that list, guys, it's so important. Like when you're calling in your soulmate, especially when you're calling in someone that you want to build your empire in with, getting super clear on those things that you want, you know, from your relationship and from your partner. So anyway, I just wanted to like comment on how important that manifestation list is for your partner.
Yes, nice to that. I love that. Like seeing your list, Nikki, was so mind blowing because it's literally 3 pages of notes in like painfully crystal clear details that are in there, include down to the name. And that made me feel so freaking loved and seen, especially when I saw that she had being a trillionaire and going to space on her manifestation list. I was like, what? I was like reading an entry in my own journal. It was like I just met my other, like myself in a way, you know? And yeah, it's the best feeling. Like I had this experience of like my bliss meter. I feel like we all have these patterns of existence, right? Like the lowest standards that we're willing to like let ourselves go to, but then also like the highest of forms of love, bliss, and like experiences and abundance that we allow ourselves to receive. And since meeting Nikki, I've just constantly had to do the inner work about like expanding my bliss tolerance, right? You talk about pain tolerance, I have to expand my bliss tolerance constantly. Because like what's a 10 out of 10 in gratitude and love like changes, and then it's like a week later goes by and what was a 10 last week is a 7 now because of like this new experience we just had, you know? And that's just like it's constantly evolving. And to your point, you know, I think for everybody listening, the big principles that I'm hearing over and over again with the list, it's that clarity creates reality. Clarity creates reality. And if by now you don't have a written list of exactly what you desire, it's time to start. Like now would be a good time to start writing down what you want, and just checking in where that's starting to show up. So it's so simple to do that it's also so easy not to do. And the people who do it get such incredible results. And then one thing I would like to add, I'm curious if this is happening for you too. You know, Maribeth being a meditation expert, I know Nicole, you have this amazing goddess bath ritual for manifestation, right? And I'm a meditation coach, among other things. What kind of like actual practices do you use besides making the list that people can use to manifest? You know, I use a meditation, and I remember the exact day that I manifested Nikki coming into my life, because it was 11/11/2020. It was 11/11/2020. I wrote down exactly what I want. It was this astrological, here's the stars, right? Astrological portal where manifestations would be super potent. And I had my written list, I did my meditation, and I did it with a friend. So we both put our visions into the universe. And then what was like 4 months later, we were going to Tulum together and like going on epic retreats and masterminds together. And I was literally with her. So
and not to mention like that date, like my birthday is the day before. My birthday is 11/10. Right. So like the very next day he was like calling me in. It was just, and literally I had a party that day. It was like a manifestation ritual party on that exact day. I had a baptism. So it's like, it was super like synchronistic. Like, yeah, anyway, I just had to
talk about like your meditation ritual, the goddess bath ritual, and the secret things that you do to manifest amazing humans like myself.
Yeah. So I do a ritual called the goddess bath. And it's what I use for manifestation. It's a part of one of the things that I use as a part of my manifestation ritual. And I create a portal in the water. And I go up to Creator through meditation, through journaling. And that's my time to intuitively plan with the Creator, right? Like I get crystal clear. I clear out what isn't serving me, release that, because I want what I am calling in to come and have a seat at the table. So I do all of that work in the bath because water is very cleansing, right? And our bodies are also 80 to 90% water. So we can communicate while we're in the water, right? We can merge with bodies of water and we can cleanse and we can also call in. And so I use that energy to manifest. And I found through this ritual that I've been doing for the past like 7 years that it really amplifies my work. It really amplifies. And when I say my work, I mean like the work, the self work that I'm doing, the manifestation work that I do, it amplifies it in a way. So I use that when I'm really like, you know what, enough. I'm calling this in. This is what I'm looking to do, or I'm releasing this, or I'm clearing this, or I'm healing this. When I'm really getting serious about what I'm calling in, I go in that bath and I take that time. I journal, I meditate, and then I integrate, and I also release. And so it's a little bit more nuanced than that, but I do work with people teaching them that process if anyone is interested. But that's just been one of the ways, because there's so many ways to manifest, right? There's so many ways to clear. There's so many ways to call in. And that's just one of the ways that I have found that it's been extremely potent for me. And it's also such a beautiful self-care practice. It's combining self-care with manifestation. And that's what I really like about it. It's doing something wonderful and beautiful and luxurious for yourself, to adorn yourself with this beautiful, loving, light energy while you're working with Creator and you're working with the energy of the planet and the universe to call in what you desire.
Beautiful. And I've taken Goddess bath and experienced the amplification of the water, to jump into that water over and over again. I've experimented with ice baths now too, because that's a little edgy as well, which has been so fun. Yeah, so grateful you did that work, babe. I'm really grateful you did that work. How about you, Marbeth and Harris, and what type of practices do you use?
I do I wanted to add something to the list before I even go there, because what happens if you're not even clear who it is you want to bring into your life? What do you do? For one thing, you know what you want to feel, right? In a relationship, you want to feel that love. You want to feel that companionship. You want to feel that alignment. Those are things that once you can feel what it is, you can write that down. And if you know what you don't want, there's a pretty good chance you might want the opposite, right? So that's a really good way to think about what it is that you want. And you can continuously revise it and hone it, because you don't have, you're not written, it's not written in stone, it's written on paper. So I just wanted to add that in case you're thinking, what am I going to do? I don't know exactly what I want, you know? So, and the more that you do it, the clearer it's going to be. So
100%. The practice.
Meditation is to get really deep in a meditation, maybe by clearing my chakras first, you know, like blessing the chakras, going in all the power centers within our body. And then when I'm very deep, I kind of move out into the space around my body, into that void. And once I have already made my list and I know it's very clear, sometimes I'll give it a symbol, like maybe, when I was thinking, for my business, I have a symbol of a rising phoenix. So I imagined the phoenix out there, in the void, and just feeling the feeling of what it's like to have that soulmate, or what it's like to have whatever it is. I used to have really bad asthma. I don't have it anymore because I did this in the meditation. And I just moved into the space where I knew what I wanted to be feeling. I knew what I wanted. I knew what it was feeling like once I had it, and I could feel all the gratitude and all of the wonderful feelings of having already manifested it. That's the key. Harrison talks about the already, being in the already. And it's really important, because when you are in the already, you're feeling that gratitude, like, wow, I don't have this anymore. or I have this and I didn't have it, so your mind doesn't know the difference between, so a real experience or an imagined experience. And when you do, whether you're doing it in that goddess path, which is wonderful, Nikki, I'm going to have to try that. I love that concept. Or whether you're going out into, I call it the field of love and peace and miracles, just to go out into that field. And, we are limitless beings. We don't have any limits except for the ones that we put on ourselves when we feel small or we feel hopeless or helpless or limited. So when we can either do that in the bath and have that connection with spirit, that alignment with spirit, or do it through a different kind of meditation. And there's so many different kinds, as Nikki was saying, then, we really step into our limitless beings and we can manifest whatever we want.
So I noticed when I was asked to kind of connect with Miro and Nikki, basically, that happened at 1:11 my time. So now there's a synchronicity there. I've been noticing those, double and triple numbers showing up a lot lately. So in terms of the way that we kind of make manifest happens is that I understand that I create my own reality, that reality is created from the inside out, and that there is no real out there. It's just a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And we're all the same being, just kind of, having fun with each other, taking on different roles and seeing what we can kind of experiment with. So the answer to getting anything, whether it be a soulmate or whether it be getting a circumstances, number one is that, you want to know what the reality is that you want to experience. So we create our own reality. So the first thing is that we have to, the first thing is that we have to know what reality we want to experience. We want to know what we want to do when that reality happens so that we can then bring it into the here and now, not manifest it from the future, not pull it in, but be in it here and now, because that claims it, and that's the already situation. So the first part of that is to know, to have faith and to understand the law of attraction. The law of attraction is, as we get in this world what we are and not what we want. So we become what the situation is. So if you want to love somebody, you have to become the love that you want in somebody else. So that's the first thing. So you have to become that love. You have to have faith in the fact that you can bring that to you. Because if you try to bring it to you and you don't believe it, and you're just trying to, do affirmations and other things like that with no belief, it's an empty energy. It doesn't pull, it doesn't magnetize. The way you magnetize is you invest a lot of emotion into what it is that you're doing. So you have an idea. So when I pictured Marbeth for the first time, I knew that not only blonde and big boobs, but I knew it was about 5'4". I knew that, we would walk hand in hand. I knew that we would have, meals together. And I visualized those things. I was very much into the whole process of understanding that. I knew what it felt to put my arm around her. I knew what it felt to dance with her. I knew what it felt like, so and so and so and so. So I start off with, if I go into a meditation or a visualization, I start off with the first place I go is into my bliss. I go into what is the most happiest thing I've ever felt, and I want to stay in that. I want to get immersed into that field of energy, because everything is fields of energy. Poverty is a field of energy. Wealth is a field of energy. Confidence is a field of energy. Depression is a field of energy, et cetera, et cetera. So you want to go into the field of energy that you want, the field of energy of love and all possibilities. And, I'm very much on playfulness. So I love to play with people. I love to be, flirtatious, and I love to be fun loving, and I love to do things with people, and especially with groups of people as well, so that we can, manifest something big together. So the first thing is that we go into the place of knowing what that reality is. We find that reality. So we have to come into a place where we clear our minds. So we go into this space where we go into the quantum field. We go dark and we go down into sort of a hypnotic state, if you will. And so we're into the quantum field. And the quantum field, that is the place where everything emerges from. And it's the first way that we understand on how to know our way in the world, by coming from the quantum field. Otherwise, we're being slapped around by the universe, and we just kind of have happenings and we respond. So we go into the quantum field to create. So we go into the space of darkness, we go into the space of aloneness, but we go into the space of pure, beyond the senses, pure feeling. We can't get to enlightenment through thinking, we have to get to it through feeling. And so we have to get to the place of loving through feeling. You can't get it about what you think about, you have to get it at what you feel. So we go into this place of first getting into the quantum field. So in the quantum field, we are in this meditative state where, we're just allowing our thoughts to come up, and whatever they do, we observe them like we see a cloud in the sky or traffic going by. There's no emotional connection to what the thoughts are. You just let them go. And after a little while, they basically clear out. And what's left is your awareness of you being in this space. So you then picture the reality that you want to have. So you picture that reality in deep detail. So you go into, what is it that I feel? What is it that I'm doing? What is it that my senses are? Can I touch this? Can I accelerate this? Can I, have a body sensation that is, to my desire, and so on and so forth. So we create a picture of the reality we want. Now, that's only the first step. Once you've got the picture of who you want and the reality you want, the next space is then not to look at it, because in your visualization, you're looking at the scene. But now you're going to go further, you're going to go deeper, you're going to go into the scene as the actor, as the being that you are watching. So you are then becoming what it is you want to have manifest. So you don't look at, you look as, from. So you look from that reality, and suddenly you're looking from behind the eyes of the person that you are in the new reality, and you allow that to be immersed. You allow yourself to be immersed in that. And you rest in the fulfillment of that for as long as you can maintain, or as long as you want to maintain, basically. And when you've rested in that fulfillment for a while, basically you've claimed it. When you can kind of come out of this trancey hypnotic state very slowly, and you begin to open your eyes as if it's the first time you've looked at the world, like you were a baby just opening your eyes for the first time. But what you've done is you've claimed that reality as yours, because you're in that reality not to pull it from the future. You're in that reality to enjoy it in the here and now. And when you enjoy it in the here and now it programs your nervous system. And your nervous system now knows what it feels like to have that experience. And from that place, the magnetism happens. And the emotions that you have given to that are, you can call up those emotions anytime you want. But once you've claimed it, you don't have to go back in. You don't have to repeat it. You don't have to worry about when it's going to come. You don't have to try to practice it. None of that stuff. You've claimed it. It's yours. You are source energy. We are all source energy. And from that space, once we claim it, we are here. We are there. And so it will manifest the moment we stop trying to manifest it. So it comes when we release, the only thing that ever keeps you from having what you want is resistance. So the resistance is letting go. The solution is letting go of the resistance. So allow it to come in. Marbeth and I both have a affirmation that we do, is that everything always goes right for us. Mine is also, I allow everything I want in. So those kinds of things happen, and we decide what we want. We feel it beyond the sensory place so that it's in our heart. We've claimed it. We know that we have faith that it's coming, and then we give thanks and gratitude in advance for it having already happened. And in the faith and gratitude in advance, the universe looks down and says, hey, that person's getting connected. Why don't we give him more? So
yeah. I love that. There's just so much power in what you shared. It's like, that was like a whole masterclass there. I got like a bunch of notes on all you wrote down. And I think the key is, what I love you saying is like, you rest in the fulfillment, with thanks in advance that is already done. And it's so beautiful. I feel like it's like a common, it's a common mistake, right? That people are desiring their goals and it's out there. And for as long as it's out there, it's just like they're protecting the lack of it. But this is the good news that we want everyone to like really sink in and allow that to sink into your souls and your minds, to understand deeply that you get to live in this most amazing fuck yes dream state of your dream life with your dream partner. You get to live in that state right now, because the energy of feeling that, having it now, is what creates it. So you don't go out there to get a girlfriend or to get your partner or to go get a client or to go get after your goals, like many will tell you. No, it's an energy that you're cultivating inside, and from your being, you're creating the events, the moments, the synchronicities, that attraction, that magnetic pull that will pull you together, where it's like inevitable that you'll come together, just like magnets, like they have to, like it's nature. So much great stuff.
If it's out there, it implies separation. See, that's the thing. If it's out there, it implies separation. If it's in here right now, there is no separation. You are it. Very big principle. We get in this world what we are, not what we want. So we have to become what we want. So that is here and now. We can't do that in the future. We can't do that in the past. So
yeah, I know. I want to say this to people who are listening, who may be, whether you're like new to law of attraction, manifesting practice, or even an advanced experts, just realize this. One of the things I've learned from just knowing Nikki and getting to know my soulmate was that manifesting is not something you do during a certain time when you schedule it on your calendar. Manifesting is something you do with every single thought, with every single feeling, every single moment of every minute of every single day, even when you're sleeping. So it's literally the information, the energy, the quality of your thoughts. And one of the things I love about being in a relationship with a powerful manifestor is that whenever there's something that we're noticing a desire, right? We're noticing something that's not here now that we want. And I can always hear Nikki saying, isn't it going to be nice when this is happening in my life, right? And isn't that going to be nice? And so she'll be nice when that happens. And then we just like get to take a moment and pause and just appreciate how nice that will be, whether it's the next breakthrough with the next launch or whatever, the next vacation, the next adventure retreat, right? Next time we come together, will be nice. And then we just kind of get to really, like you said, rest in the fulfillment of it being done as a place to come from. Beautiful.
You
I have
know,
a quick comment. Oops, we all have things to say. I just wanted to say a quick comment to something Harrison said, and then something that you said as well, Miro, which is, I think you both were touching on points of like trusting that things are going to happen, like allowing it to come through, right? And some of the ways we get to the space of trusting is like, also what I did with the list is I wrote down like how I wanted to feel, which is something that you said, but also like what was I bringing to the table? Not just what I wanted out of my partner, but like how was I going to show up in the relationship? What was I bringing to the table? And that was a good place to start because we are such reflections, right? And it's like, how dare I want to call in something from my partner that I'm not even like showing up as? And so it's like we are mirrors and reflections of our partners. And it's like what Harrison was saying, it's like we have to have that love inside of ourselves first, that deservingness, right? Of that worthiness of knowing that we are worthy of that love. We're deserving of that same love that we want. We have to be willing to give that as well. And it was so transformative for me when I like, to the counterpart of like making my list of what I wanted from my partner, but like, what was I bringing to the table? Like, who am I in this relationship? Like, how do I show up? And like, looking at that list, it was like, whoa, of course I'm worthy of all these things because look at all the things that I'm bringing to the table. So I would encourage people when you are manifesting anything, especially when it comes to your partner, like that list of like who you are as well. And like, what are you bringing to the table? And it also doing that allows that trust to come in. And it allows that allowing to come in, right? It takes like the pressure off of like, this has to happen now, and this has to happen at a certain space at a certain time. It allows the universe to co-create with you when you do that, because you see all the ways that you are showing up and also the ways that you aren't. So you can then make that adjustment, right? Because the minute you start to be the thing that you want, it's going to show up, because everything in your life is a reflection of your choices, right? So like when you are becoming the thing that you are calling in from your partner, of course that's going to show up for you, because you're going to get that reflected back. So that was like one of the things that I really wanted to share, because that was a huge portion of like the manifestation coming through for me, and allowing it to come through and trusting that it will come through, and allowing that reflection in that mirror to come through, is like making that list about how I was showing up on the other side as well.
Here's the great thing about a mirror. It can never smile before you do. You have to be what you want to see.
Yeah.
So that's the way it works. And you know, one of the great bliss moments that I have every day is I catch Marbeth out of the corner of my eye when she's looking at me, and she's smiling with love, and there's a twinkle in her eye. And you know, that warms my heart every single day, every single time. So you know, when we eat and I'm looking down at something else, I catch her in the corner of my eye and she's looking at me with a smile. You know, just all this love, this light coming from her eye. It's great. So you know, that's a great mirror. So, you know, I'm polishing that mirror as much as I can every day.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake has an amazing song that's called Mirror. It's one of my favorite songs. I think I played it for Miro, and it's talking about like, it's a song that he wrote to his wife, Jessica, and it's like, he's talking about her being his mirror. And that's literally the chorus is like, you're my mirror. I see myself reflected back to me. And it's just so beautiful. And he has this whole breakdown, this interlude at the end where he's just like expressing that this person is like the love of his life because she's his mirror. And so, yeah, it's so important. Like our partners are reflections. All of our relationships really are reflections of what's going on inside of ourselves. And so that's such a huge part of manifestation. It's like, you've got to start within, like Harrison was saying, like you have to start from the inside of you. It's nothing outside of you that needs to happen. It's everything that's inside of you that needs to happen.
One of my students once said this to me, and I love this. And this is the dark side of all that. He said, I never knew so many things were wrong with me until I got into a relationship.
And there's that shadow work that can happen too when you're going inside. But that's a whole other topic of conversation, doing shadow work.
And I want to say, like, just how amazing it is to be with a conscious partner who understands, you know, that we're all like have our stuff and we create our own reality. And we all have these little, like, let's just say manifestation blocks that we carry with us, you know? And when you have someone that is aware of that, it's like, oh, they're like, oh, you did this and da 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 da. It's like, oh, look, babe, there's something for you to work on. I'm like, oh, thank you for bringing that to my awareness. It's literally hooray awareness. I'm so glad that I'm noticing something that I wasn't aware of before. So now I can clear it and not like, oh, you need it. You know what I mean? It's not like, so I know we all have been in relationships, I imagine, that, you know, we're very much like, you need to do this and I do this for you. And in this relationship, there's none of that. There's no room for any of that, because we know we're totally 100% responsible for our well-being, for our happiness. I don't need to go over there and make Nikki happy, because I know my responsibility is fully in like filling my own cup and then being myself, which is madly in love with this woman. And that comes, everything else comes just like naturally from that. And when I say that, I will say it comes naturally, and I'm very deliberate about the skill sets and the practices that it requires to, one, love another human being, because you don't love every person the same way, you know? They say there's the golden rule, which is treat others as you would like to be treated. And then there's the platinum rule, which is treat others as they want to be treated. You know, there's 5 different love languages, and we're very clear on what our love languages are and how they're different, so that we can really nurture each other and fill each other's cup, and not what a lot of people do, spend all this time and energy to like love somebody, what they imagine is love to them, but then don't realize that this person needs to be loved in another way. So there's a skill set in really learning how to love someone. As I'm saying this, my 6-year-old son is here and it's like asking for my attention. Give me a minute, son. I'm finishing my And so one is like really how to love somebody. I know my son loves attention personally, and like talking to me and being physical and jumping on my neck and things like that, which is really fun. But it's the other part of the work is having a tool set to really do the deep inner work, the transformational work, because your belief becomes your be life. You know, Nikki has the goddess bath. Marbeth has these incredible meditation techniques. Harrison has shared so much about his manifestation and healing and clearing experiences and exercises. And I have my very own tool set. And I think that's what we all have in common, right? We learned how to love someone, and we can deeply do the inner work, and everybody deserves to have that transformational toolkit, because until and unless you have that, it's going to feel like life is kind of happening to you and you don't know why, right? But when you have the ability to change your beliefs, your belief becomes your belief. So I want to share that. As we're getting close to the time, I know we would love to just keep jamming forever with this incredible power team, a couple of power couples, and just creating the energy. Just feeling the energy of the room. It just like feels like a great place to be. So I want to acknowledge each of you for contributing your time and your energy, for being here. And guys in the audience, if you love this, just drop a hashtag love, right? Share with us your one sentence takeaway, your hashtag insight. And if you want to dive deeper and learning from each of the speakers, listen in, because I'm going to ask each of you, like, what is it that we can offer to people in terms of getting in touch with you? Maybe let's start with Nicole and then go to Marbeth and Harrison, so we can close out, but give an opportunity for our followers to dive deeper with knowing you. So Nikki, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, for sure. I'm super easy to find. You can Google my name and things will pop up, but the easiest way is to follow me on Instagram, which is at Nicole Levin, and that's NicoleLovince. I'm sure I will get tagged in this video and podcast when we repost it. So I'm super easy to find, and in my bio is links to all the things that I do. But also you can do a quick Google search of my name and all my stuff will come up, all my film, shows, website, Instagram. I also have a podcast, Mix at Night. So I have a footprint, a very long digital footprint. So I'm super easy to find, guys.
Beautiful, beautiful. Share with us, Marbeth, how we can get in touch with you.
My website is marbethdunn.com, MARBETHDUNN. And you can also find me on all my social media links at morefrommarbeth.com.
Beautiful, more from Marbeth. Love that. Harrison, my guy, how do we find you, brother?
Well, first of all, I want to say that love is liberation. You know, it doesn't bind, it frees. So that's the very first thing. So if you understand that, you don't have to bind your partner. You give them freedom and you have your freedom. So the internal freedom thing. I just finished a summit that I had called Small Shifts, Big Changes. And so my primary current website is harrison.smallshiftsbigchanges.com, and that gives you the access to a course that I'm teaching in September called Quantum Neurogenesis, or Secrets of the Masters. It's a compilation of 4,000 years of sage advice with current quantum understandings. So, you know, it's about creating new neural pathways. It's about unifying the two hemispheres of the brain, so a feeling of wholeness and love. So the whole process is that. So you can find me at that. You know, my social media is just Harrison Klein or Harrison.Klein, either one. And, you know, I love to connect with you guys. And if anybody who wants to PM me or DM me or whatever, I have free gifts for people. I invite you to do that, and I'll happily send you a free gift of any sort, different kinds. So love is everything, baby, everything. So we got.
Yes. Snaps, Harrison, thank you so much for your generosity and offering your gift. That's beautiful. And for my listeners, if you haven't joined the Conscious Entrepreneur community, we have over $10,000 of value and free trainings available there to dive deeper into your manifesting, meditation, and business growth as well. We haven't even touched on the empire building side of things, which is a whole nother TED Talk. We'll probably do a part 2 of this incredible conversation. So with that, I think Elliot is ready for me to do some quality long time with my son. Thank you guys so much for showing up and playing full out and sharing this space. Let's do this again soon. See you on the next one. Elliot is coming to say bye. He's waving.
Bring him up into the screen.
All right, you want to say hi to our friends?
And puppeting.
Let's I gotta turn off the virtual background so you can actually see him. Boom. There you go. Elliot, say what's up.
Hey, look at you, man. You look good.
Show. I'm
What?
very
I'm 6 years old already.
You've lost some more teeth, bud. Oh my goodness, where are your teeth?
Can I have a look at your popsicle? Can I have a look at, there you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being so patient with us, Elliot. You've been doing very good.
All right.
Yeah. Those
It's a
are
pleasure to meet you.
problems with the phones and iPads.
Yeah, his iPad and his phone, both of them died while he was watching YouTube, so he had to come see Dad.
Oh no.
We'll get a little juice.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Peace.
Wait 1 second. Can we end recording?
Okay, we can.
Yeah.
Let's stop the stream.